talk softly or you talk softly with an accent, I might have a hard time hearing you. So please be patient. That's my problem, not yours. If I ask you to repeat a question wherever face to face on Zoom, that's the reason why. Now, important thing you should this whole semester when you watch my Zoom videos, you'll learn a lot about me personally. But one important thing I do want to teach you right now is in my world, in my class, there's no such thing as a dumb question. In my universe, my world, any class I teach, anything in my world, there's no such thing as a dumb question. If you don't know something, ask. I will never, ever say, oh, that was a dumb question, because there are no dumb questions. It took me until I learned that lesson. I think it was my third year of grad school at Michigan State. I was giving a talk in our research group. And that year we had a really great postdoctoral fellow, someone who's already got a PhD, but doesn't have a full-time job. So he's working with a professor making money until you get a full-time job. I was a postdoctoral fellow at University of Illinois, Chicago Circle. But I was doing something and Dr. Palavin, Larry Palavin asked me this question. What's something about what I was talking about? And what he asked me was called a mechanism, which we don't do in Chem 170. That mechanism we teach to undergrad students in first year 2-semester organic chemistry. So I explained it to him, and afterward I went up to him and said, Larry, weren't you embarrassed asking that question? Because we teach that to undergrads. He looked at me and said, why should I be embarrassed? I didn't know it. You told me taught me what it was. Now I know it. Why should you ever be embarrassed for asking a question? And later on, I involved it into the saying I now use for a long time. There's no such thing as a dumb question. All right, let's talk about summer Chem 170 this summer. We're trying something new. This class will be totally asynchronous. Now, relax, relax. What that means is I won't be giving formal lectures like if this were face-to-face at ECC or a VCM, virtual class meeting, which I've done. But the good news is, since the pandemic, I've taught Chem 170 a number of times on Zoom. And because of that, and also I'm a power user, computers have been for many decades. You can see some external hard drives there. Oh, by the way, that's part of my flashlight collection. This is my office in my home, otherwise known as ECC East. I live in Schaumburg, east of Elgin Community College. But anyways, I have took the videos from the YouTube, or I should say the Zoom meetings, and I posted them on my YouTube channel. We'll talk more about that. Now, because I won't be giving any face-to-face lectures, and even when I do on Zoom, I rarely get that many questions. But if you have a question, one, I'll have office hours, I'll talk about that. And two, because I have a Zoom account, unlike before the pandemic, if I wasn't at ECC, guess what? I wasn't there and you wouldn't be able to ask questions of me. But now, if you really need help, and shh, don't tell anybody I'm saying this, I don't want to get around this, I'm a nice guy. Shh, remember that, ruin my image. But if you need extra help and you can't make it to my office hours, email me and we'll see if we can set up a Zoom meeting where I can help you out. But try and make it to my office hours. And you can also always email me a question. All right. Now, one thing I want to do, and do not write this down. Well, you can, but you don't have to. This is an organic molecule. It's got 4 carbons, 1, 2, 3, 4. Each carbon has hydrogens on it, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. And it has a name, butane. And butane is the stuff in those little lighters, the liquid that burns to make the flame. Don't write this down, but the next 20, 30, 50 minutes, I'm going to try for the Guinness Book of World Record saying butane, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3 the most times. And by the way, I wrote it in black. Now, important thing for my class this summer, whether it's asynchronous, synchronous, or face-to-face, is, first of all, you should be familiar with desire to learn, which at ECC, we use the acronym D2L. And here on your screen, you should see the front page of D2L for Chem 170. If you don't know how to do this, either the helpline, the ECC helpline, and the people there are very helpful, or email me and I'll set up a Zoom meeting and I'll show you how to do this. Well, you log in and you'll see on the first page, you have my name, my office hours. Here's a link to log into my office hours. Here's my email address. And here you'll see various announcements. Let's go to content. Now, over here, content, you'll see a number of things. And the table of contents, I got a lot of stuff. You'll see this syllabus. And let me just check to make sure that's what you're seeing. And you are. Zoom sometimes tells me this is what you're saying, but this last semester put in a new thing that I can check to make sure you're really seeing this. All right, here's my syllabus. And you can see here, I have the syllabus both as a Word document and a PDF file. I'll talk more about the signature sheets. Then I have lectures, like if we're doing it face-to-face. And these are the various chapters in the book, which you don't have to buy, and I'll talk more about that. And you'll see I have each thing as a Word document and a PDF file in case you don't have something that can open up Microsoft Word. And I have various lectures. Now, let me show you a really, how should I put this, bad aspect of D2L. If you see at the very bottom, after chapter 11 and 13, amines, amides, and heterocyclic compounds, says load more. Why can't you just scroll, keep on scrolling? Don't know. But if you click on load more, you'll see there's more stuff, a lot more stuff. Now, besides chapters, the lecture slides, I have in this area under lectures, test 1 review, test 2, test 3, and test 4. And this is something to help you. And in the videos, you'll see me go through this. Now, I also have here my YouTube channel link and the YouTube channel video schedule, which is also in the syllabus. We'll talk about that in a little while. Now, something I created a long time ago and I haven't used, I thought now that we're asynchronous, I did do, is I have what are called the learning modules. And today's introduction, then the next one is hydrocarbons, alkanes and cycloalkanes, and so on. And each one of these, well, let's open up the alkanes and cycloalkanes module 2. And these are available and gives you an overview, objectives, outcomes, learning resources, presentation, activity. Now, the completion deadline, you can find that in your syllabus, what you should be doing each week and completing. And I have this for the whole semester. Now, something very important, I have practice problems and the practice problem answers. This is why you don't have to buy the book. The book, which is Harold Hart, and I think I have a copy here. I do. That's the book. I'll tell you a little while story about Dr. Hart, the first Hart on here. Whoa, as my calculator falls down. But the practice problems, I'll talk more about this. This is what you should be doing to get a good grade in Chem 170. And I also have the answers. Now, one of the things you'll be doing in this class is submitting laboratory reports, your tests, and the final. And I have instructions here. If you don't have a printer, if you don't have a scanner, relax. Don't worry about it, because I have instructions how to use your cell phone, take pictures of, if you handwrite it, if you don't have a printer, your answers for a lab report, the questions you have to answer, for a test, the questions you have to answer, and the final, same thing, questions. And this uses, there's different ways of doing it. One, another faculty member at ECC, about early on in the pandemic, learned about Cam Scammer, and this is an app for your phone. Don't buy the Cam Scammer where you have to pay money. Use the free version. It works just as good and you save money. And these are available for you to read, and here in the contents, in the table of contents, here how to create it. Now I've got some things here hidden because this is my interface, and because if you haven't noticed, I'm a little older than most of you. Wow, is that an understatement? But I have there my favorite videos, my favorite movies, my favorite songs and books. My fame to claim, when I was in senior year in high school, I saw Jimi Hendrix live. If you don't know who Jimi Hendrix is, that's sad. Probably one of the greatest rock guitarists ever. I also saw Gracie Slick and the Airplane and a couple other great bands. Also, I love, and I saw them 3 times when they were in Chicago, the Moody Blues. Uh-oh, my generation gap is showing. All right. Nope, that's not what I want. All right, I'm not going to go through the whole syllabus. This is something you can download either as a Word document or PDF file. But it has here important thing. Here's my link again to the office hours, and 6 to 7 this summer, Monday and Wednesdays. Here's a link to my YouTube channel, and I'll show you that in a little while. The best way to reach me is by email. I check my email twice daily. Now, when I say twice daily, I get up early, and start my day early. So usually by 6:30, I have checked my email, sometimes earlier, and then later in the afternoon or evening, I'll check it again. That's the best way. This phone number you see on the syllabus is a voicemail box, and I can't remember the last year I checked it. I don't really remember, at least 5-10 years ago. Now, you can read at your leisure. You don't have to. The active course file, which I'm required, all faculty are supposed to put in their syllabus, same thing, course description, objectives, etc. Now, you're responsible for the Chem 170 YouTube videos. Since this is asynchronous, watch them. That's one way to get a good grade. It's like saying, come to lecture if we were face to face. You need to watch those videos if you want to succeed in my class, Chem 170. I have stuff on cheating here. Don't cheat, or I'll do what's in here. I'll let you read that at your leisure. Only a couple times. I've been teaching at ECC since, wow, September or August of 2001. Yep, that long. All right. Now, important thing I do want to mention, if you are special needs students, please contact me. And I have always supported the Center for Special Needs Students and the special needs students that I've had, and I've had a number over the years, and I support it. Contact me in private. All right, couple things. This semester, there'll be 4 one-hour tests. The tentative test schedule is right here. The final exam will be on Thursday, the 20th of July. Now, let me talk about tests and final. First of all, I hate multiple choice. I hated them when I was a student. Luckily, when I was a student, Scantron tests were rare, but I hate them because multiple choice are developed to trick a student. I don't do that. Mine are short answer type questions. Now, hint, there's a reason I call my practice problems. And after test number 1, you'll find out why I call them practice problems. Hint. Now, I shall tell you that if you watch the videos of my lecture from last summer, and the reason I'm doing last summer, there are more you can watch too, because I've got a number of semesters, almost 2.5 years, Chem 170 on YouTube channel. But last semester, those YouTubes, which are in my syllabus, are set up for a 7-week course, which this is. Now, in the past, in the summer, used to be 8 weeks. Last summer, the dean asked me to try an experiment. Let's do 7. And it worked. Students did really good. I was worried about that because we made, instead of 8 weeks, it's 7 weeks. 1 week in the summer is same as 2 weeks gone in fall or spring, but it worked out all right. So watch the videos, do the practice problems. Now, I forgot to mention, all my tests, every question, I have gone through the concept behind that question in my videos, or if we're doing live lecture, and I've done this before COVID forced us onto Zoom, and now I'm still able to stay on Zoom at least twice, usually more. I've covered that concept in my lecture for you in the video. And if you do the practice problems, you'll do good on my test and the final. Oh, I should tell you this semester, if you watch my videos, and right now, you'll learn a lot about me personally, and I better tell you something real important right now. certain things, I'm a very selfish person. I am. And one of the things that I'm very, very selfish about is I like to have things happen around me that make me happy. I do. And one of the things that makes me very happy is to see students succeed. I get no pleasure giving someone a D or F. No, it actually hurts to see that happen. But when students do well, I get happy and it makes me happy. And students throughout the years in my Chem 170 have done well because they do the practice problems and watch the video or come face to face when I had lectures. So remember, do those, make me happy. All right. Now, how do you get a grade in this class? In the syllabus on page, where are we, 9, you'll see we're going to have 4 tests. And I take the 3 highest test scores and add them to get points, maximum 300 points. The final exam is 200 points. Relax, students do real good on my final. And the lab reports, each one are 11, and you'll have 12 out of 13. I dropped the lowest lab report, and that's 132. And this is a mistake. This should be a 2 there. Sorry about that. I'll have to correct it. I have it in the percentage. Now, if you take the sum of your 3 highest test scores, your final exam test score, your lab total, and I do 1 extra credit, 10 points, and multiply that by 100 and divide it by 632, you'll get a percentage. And if your percentage is 90 or above, you get an A, 80-89, B, 70-79, and 60-69, D, and less than 60 is an F. Now, historically, and I've been teaching this long enough, I can say this, usually I expect, are you listening? About 50 to 60% of the class, and the key word is earn an A. Last semester they did more than that, and last summer it was quite good. And that's because they did what I recommended. In your case, watch the videos and do the practice problems. One other thing that I'll be reminding you throughout the summer, hand in labs. For some reason, I know part of it, number of students, and another course I teach, I also teach at College of DuPage. I've taught this similar course and also here and there, general chemistry. Online, I've seen students don't hand in labs. They're easy points. Hand in labs. You don't hand in 5 labs, you've lost 55 points possibly, and that can make the difference between an A and a B or an A and a C. Do the labs, keep up. Whether it's summer, fall, or spring, especially summer, was fast-paced, keep up, do the labs. You need help with the labs, and the labs, the way we do it, you're not going to be working with chemicals at home when organic chemistry is too dangerous. I'll give you the data, and if you watch the lab on the videos, and then you have to interpret that and answer questions. Just like over face-to-face, you get the data and then answer those same questions. I'll give it to you, but it's the same thought process. All right, when it comes to withdrawing, you do that through the registration center. I can tell you this, historically, over the last number of many years, I rarely have students who drop. The only reason they drop is 1, when we were face-to-face, they moved out of the area. And 2, I've had it a couple times where students get pregnant and they drop that way. All right, but remember, and this happened a couple of times over the year, student just disappears, never shows up, not handing in labs, taking tests or the final does not constitute officially withdrawing from the class. If you need an incomplete, and that's happened rarely, let me know and we'll talk about it. You need some sort of documentation. All right, on this page 10, here is the tentative outline, which essentially I stick to. First week, this is what we'll cover. And I have something new. Here are the modules that you can look at. What are you supposed to be doing? And same thing through the various weeks this summer. And I also have the test date. Now, the way we'll do tests in this class is in Blackboard, and let me show you this. You'll see assignments. Now, you're going to see a lot of things here, but you can't see it because I'm not in student view. And you can click on like one of the labs. First lab will be melting point. You'll download of something, add the lab. You'll look at the data, answer some questions, and upload your answer. And for a test, the way I do it is on the day of the test, about 9 o'clock in the morning, I will send out a password that will allow you to open up and download a password protected PDF file of test 1. Now, you can print it out and write down your answers. If you have a scanner, like I have a printer right there with a scanner, you don't use CamScammer, or there's another way with your cell phone, you can make it into a PDF file and you'll upload that. Now, if you don't have a printer or if your printer breaks, you can take a regular piece of paper and write down your answers. I will remind you in the videos, and I'll send out an email. If you don't have a printer, you do not have to write the actual questions. This is like question 1, put 1, your answer. Make sure you write your name on there, and then you'll upload that. I will send out the password on a Thursday for test 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the final is, I believe, is on a Thursday. And you'll have from 9 a.m. Thursday until, I don't know, 1 p.m. Friday. Take the test. My tests, when we do it face-to-face, are usually you have 50 minutes. By the way, I forgot to mention, I teach by my golden rule of teaching. Ooh, what's that? And that is, I don't do to my students what I didn't like done to me. Yes, I can still remember when I was a student in undergrad and grad school. By the way, that was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. But anyways, I don't do that. So I give, if we're face-to-face, my 50-minute test. Usually most students are done in 40 minutes or less. I don't like tests, which I could do because I was usually in math and science, the top student in a class, where only a few students can finish the test. I don't do that. So you'll have until next day to upload your answers. Now, when I give a test, I'll say, take 2 hours. Normally, if we're face-to-face, you have 50 minutes. But since I don't have to get out of the room, if we were face-to-face, I'll give you some extra time. Oh, I forgot to do something, oh boy. Now, butane. All right, where did I here it is. Remember, butane, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3, that's butane. And that's the liquid in those little lighters. All right, so here's the schedule for this semester for the outline. And let's talk about right here. I also have now, this is new because we're asynchronous and I don't have to do this, but this will help you. Here are the videos you should watch. In week 1, you should watch video 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the list. And here's the URL for that, each video, and here's the title. Then I have week 2, 3, 4, and throughout the semester. In week 5, because that's when we have the 4th, last summer, obviously I didn't lecture that day because there's no school. And here's the whole list. Now, for the lab, you don't have to buy a lab manual, same thing with a book. Boy, I'm saving you a lot of money. And here, you watch the YouTubes. Actually, I should cut this out. I forgot to from the syllabus. But anyways, watch the YouTube and then hand it in. Now, labs are worth about 19% of your grade. Each lab is 11 points. There'll be 13 labs, and I take the top 12. The reason I started that years ago, when we were face-to-face, if a student was sick and missed the lab, should that hurt their grade? No. And that's why I have it set up, and I still keep it that way. Now, if you don't hand in the lab report, you get 0 points, which will hurt your grade, so hand them in. And if you hand it in late, I will take 2 points off. And if it's real late, here I have more than 7 days. I've been lenient on this. If you're 8 days, that's okay. But the last day of the semester, I don't accept someone who hands in all the labs. Now, here are the various experiments. Now, in the videos, they're on Tuesday and Thursdays. And I will have available for you to see the video in the assignment area, each lab. So sometime later tonight, I'll make visible experiment 1 for you to look at tomorrow. That will be due Thursday. And experiment 2 on Thursday, that will be due the following Tuesday. And that's how the labs go. And the final Thursday, there's no lab. That's the day we'll have a final. Now, one of the things I have is I call the student agreement. And this is your copy. Well, let me open the one in D2L. Oh, by the way, butane. It's still CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3, butane. Now, here's the student agreement for you to print out, or if you don't have a printer, I guess this is the only one you have to write out yourself. And you have to say I and print your name. You read the syllabus thoroughly, understand the policies for this class, and you understand that it's your responsibility to abide by these policies, and that you understand that failure to abide by these policies will result in the consequences outlined in the syllabus. And I need your signature and date it. And then you have to upload it as a PDF file, which you can either scan this or take a picture. Now, if you don't have a printer, you can just handwrite this out and do the same thing. Now, right here, I don't consider you officially a member of this class. You must read the entire syllabus and sign the agreement I just showed you. If I don't have the signed agreement from you as a PDF file uploaded to the Assignment Area D2L, you will not be allowed to take the first test. And that's not good. So I need that. You got plenty of time to do it. you have problems with anything like that, let me know. Let's see, there's a question. I'll have to look, Marion, that's a very good question. All questions are good questions. If it's the 4th of July and I didn't realize that, I'll change that to the Wednesday. Does that sound fair?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. And for the signature area, what I will have, I haven't made it visible yet. I should. You go to the assignment area. And I'll have the signature sheet where you'll download it. Oh, this is my interface, sorry. But anyways, I'll make this visible sometime tonight or tomorrow morning that you'll be able to see signature sheet and lab 1. And I'm going to write a note to myself right now so I don't forget. I have a Bluetooth phone to my cell phone, so I don't have to carry my cell phone, and I don't shut it off just in case there's emergencies. But that was a text message from someone, which I'll get later. All right. Let's talk about some important things, how to succeed. First of all, you should check your ECC email daily. I will be sending out this semester emails to remind you, hand in your labs, things that are coming up, and you should check that. And the other thing is the videos. Oh, who's that nice looking guy? Anyways, these are videos. How many did I have here? 238 lectures. Whoa. But these are all the videos from the last couple semesters. Now, what I've had where the link is, if you scroll down, the file name is year, month, day, and then what week of the semester. Now, what I'm doing and what I gave you the list, and you don't have to look this way, but if we go back to 2022-06-06, a year ago, this is the summer class I did last year and recorded it. And these are the videos you should be watching. Now, if you want to watch other semesters too, feel free to. You'll find out I'm pretty consistent. Even the same bad jokes I sometimes reuse, but these are the ones you should watch. It's on YouTube. You all should have access to YouTube. Now, to succeed in this class, you need to watch those videos. My lectures work. Students say they help them, which is why you don't have to buy this book. You can. It's not a bad book, but with my lectures and practice problems, you don't need this. By the way, this Hart, this is his son. When he first wrote the book, it was this Hart organic chemistry short course. And Dr. Hart was a professor at Michigan State, where I got my PhD. I worked for Professor Roof And Dr. Roosh really taught me how to be an organic chemist. I'm forever grateful to him. But anyways, Dr. Hart, Professor Hart, was a very distinguished, I don't know if he's still alive or not. He may or may not be, I don't know. Organic chemist, not only because of his textbook, but because of his research and what he did in organic chemistry. And he was sort of aloof. And his research group and office was near where my lab was, where I worked. And in the morning, I'd walk by, and if he was walking by me and the way my parents taught me, I'd say, "Good morning, Dr. Hart." And he walked by. I did that for about 2 or 3 weeks. And one morning I said, "Good morning, Dr. White." And he said, "Good morning" back to me. And there are a couple other grad students there, and they were shocked because he usually doesn't talk to grad students. And after that, I said good morning to him. But he's famous for his research, but this over the years made him a lot of money. It's a good book, but if you follow my lectures and do the practice problems and do the labs, you will do good in Chem 170. All right. You know something? Let's take about a 5-minute break. I can get up and stretch, come back. I'll do about another 20 minutes and we'll be done. But come on back. I can get up and take a 5-minute break, and I'll see you in 5 minutes, okay? I'm back. All right, welcome back. Thanks for coming back. And like I said, we'll just go not too much longer, but there's important things. What was floating around here? No smoke. But anyways, let me ask you to do this. How many of you are taking Chem 170 because somebody told you you needed to take Chem 170 to get into school or get into a program? Give me a thumbs up if you're in that situation. Come on, give me a thumbs up if you're there. All right. How many of you are planning on getting a PhD in organic chemistry? Give me a thumbs up. I think it's just me. All right. Now, there's a reason I asked that question, because I know most of you, somebody gave me a thumbs down. But anyways, Dr. White has a sense of humor, and you'll see in my videos, I use it. But anyways, you're not here because you want to become organic chemist. Why learn organic chemistry? Well, let's think about that. My shirt is organic chemistry, the organic molecules. The dye that makes it red is organic molecules. My skin and what's left of my hair, don't look. Anyways, that's organic chemistry. The food you eat is all organic chemistry, even though marketing and salespeople at big food companies have stolen the word organic to mean super pure, but all food you eat is actually made up of organic molecules. When you consume them, and you'll learn this semester, you are a walking organic chemical plant, because there are organic reactions going on in your stomach and other places in your body. Yep. So let's see. The polymers that this is made of, plastic and other things, that's organic chemistry. The wood in that frame of my door, that's organic chemistry. So why should you learn organic chemistry? Your food is organic chemistry. Your skin is, your DNA is organic chemistry. My shirt, your clothes, mostly if it's cotton or synthetic or a blend, that's all organic chemistry. And I'll teach you even when you use soap to wash your hands. The soap is organic chemistry. Getting the dirt off your hands. Notice I wash my hands. But anyways, that's organic chemistry. So isn't it obvious the reason why you should learn organic chemistry? Because you want to get a good grade to get into a program or school. Now you know, I know that. And when you watch my lectures, you'll know I'm not trying to convert you into an organic chemist. Speaking about organic chemistry, butane is still CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3, butane. All right, couple of things, good things about this semester. You're going to learn about my world of organic chemistry, which is really your world of organic chemistry, but you don't know about it. And because I have many decades experience working in the chemical industry, you will learn things about the real world of organic chemistry, just not theoretical, because that's what makes it fun. By the way, organic chemistry is fun, the way I teach it and the way I've used it in my life. All right, so important things. First of all, the math in this class is really, really difficult. For the whole semester, you have to know how to add and subtract up to 4. Next, for about 2/3 of the semester, you have to know how to count up to 10 and which numbers from 1 to 10 are smaller or bigger than the others. Like 7 is bigger than 4, or 6 is smaller than 8. Now, The last part of the semester gets hard. You have to know how to count up to 20. And that's the math you have to do for this semester. You can all go, even though I was a math minor in undergrad and I took through partial differential equations and in organic chemistry, my branch, we never use it. By the way, I am a synthetic organic chemist. Synthesis is a fancy word meaning to make. And my training has been in making molecules. And I have a number of US patents for various molecules that I've created. And you'll learn about that in the videos. Now, one important thing, I see someone going a sigh of relief. But seriously, you have to know how to add and subtract up to 4 and count up to 10, good part of the semester, and the last third count up to 20, and know which numbers from 1 to 10 are larger and smaller than the others. And that's it. All right. I'm glad to see everybody's doing that. Oh, let's do butane again. Butane, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3, and that's butane. Now, in my class, my periodic table that you should know, and this will never be on a test, but I'll be using these in the videos and the lectures. H is hydrogen, then let's see, lithium, sodium, potassium, then calcium, magnesium. You should know Mg is magnesium, Na sodium, K potassium. You should have had that in undergrad. If not, look this up. I'll never ask it on a test, but, or the final, these are things you should know. Moving over, let's see, platinum or nickel, platinum and palladium, we'll learn about those. And then the most important thing on the periodic table is carbon, then nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur, then the halogens, chlorine, actually it should be up here, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. And that's really the periodic table we use in organic chemistry. Yes, others, but this semester. So if I write butane, you know, C is for carbons and H is hydrogens. And you should know on this carbon, there are 3 hydrogens. And the first video or second video, I'll go into more detail how to write organic molecules. You'll have to watch those videos. And this is butane, that's the liquid in lighters. By the way, I was a heavy smoker. Thank goodness I gave it up in 1985. Yep, I am that old. And if not, I'd probably be dead today. Killed my father at a younger age because he didn't give it up. Sad but true. I'm glad to see Megan can do that, and all of you should. All right. Now, this semester, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You've got to do a lot of memorization. And that's an important part of organic chemistry. You just have to learn that. And I'll show you right now how to do that. Close your eyes. Hopefully you're not driving. I had some students once in a while, they'd have me on their cell phone to be driving to work or something. But if you're not driving, if you're not operating heavy equipment, close your eyes. Can you see butane? Now, tonight I didn't do it as many times as I should, but if I did it about 20 times, you'd be able to close your eyes and see CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. You're going to have to memorize things. And the best way, and works much better for my students than it worked for me when I was a student, instead of flashcards, which never worked for me, is repetition. To memorize something, say you wanted to memorize the structure of butane. You write it, and as you write it, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3, butane, on a piece of paper, you write it and say it, and you do that 5 times. CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3, butane. Let's do another one. Let's just do 3 now, and I'll let you do it on your own. Butane, you do that 5 times, then another day you do it a couple more times, it's going to be burned into your brain. Now, I didn't do it as many times here, but when we do it face to face, I'll do it for the first hour of a 3-hour lecture, maybe longer, about 20 times. And I've had students come up to me a year or 2 later. I say, do you remember what I wrote on the first day in the board in the upper corner? And like that, they'll remember it was either butane. Sometimes I use propane, the stuff in the white cylinder for your barbecue, which is CH3, CH2, CH3. And they can even tell me what color ink. Tonight was black. Sometimes they use blue or red. So repetition helps learn, helps you memorize and learn this stuff. Also, I can't stress enough, watch the videos, do the practice problems. The practice problems help you get a good grade in my class. Don't just go looking at the answer, but try them. You'll see in the videos, I do practice problems at the end of each chapter or area. Not all of them, some of them. Now, if you have problems with anything, remember, in my class, there's no such thing as a dumb question. In my world, there's no such thing as a dumb question. Ask. I will help any way I can, any student. I'm here to help you get the best grade, listen carefully, you're willing to work for. Watch the videos, do the practice problems, and you'll do good. Now, this summer, we're doing what is in fall or spring, 16 weeks. We're condensing it to 7 weeks. So it's fast-paced. Don't fall behind. You're not going to learn organic chemistry and do well on a test by trying and learning it a day or 2 before the test. I've seen students try that in the fall, spring, and summer. And it's not a pretty picture. It doesn't work. So keep up. Now, if I look at my list, I have my list of what to do. I think I'm finished. All right, let me review once more. D2L. Go to D2L, go to the contents area. You'll see my syllabus, which you should look at, the lecture slides, which you'll see in my videos. You can look at the YouTube channel, but the actual schedule, which is also in my syllabus, and the modules, which may help you. Normally in the past, I haven't included that. I had them, but I never did use them, but I figured I'd put them in today for the semester. But the most important things is for you to do the practice problems, and then you can look at the answers. If you need help, come to my office hours, and also you can email me. If you can't come to my office hour and you really need help, email me and we'll see if we can set up a Zoom meeting where I can help you privately. As I said, I'm a very selfish person. I like things that make me happy, and seeing students succeed make me happy. So with that, I'm done for today. Actually, other than my office hours, I'm done. Now, earlier this evening, I was thinking idea, and I'm not sure if I'll do it or not, but if enough of you would like me to do the before a test, like on a Wednesday night or whenever, I might do a live review session or practice session for the test, if enough of you are interested. Also, if my office hour is not convenient, let me know another time and let's see if enough people want. And I'm available because I'm teaching another course this summer that's at COD, but I'll be doing live online lectures. Let me know, because I'll be flexible and try and help you any way I can. And before we leave, I'll ask, are there any questions? One last thing I should teach you, and you'll see I've mentioned it in the video. First of all, I'm Jewish. And one of the things when the pandemic hit and we went on to Zoom, I remembered something my mother's mother, Grandma Greenman, one of the finest women, first people I've ever known in my life. What a wonderful woman, strong, wonderful woman. Whenever we go and visit her and we'd leave, she'd always say, and this is Yiddish, and Yiddish is a mixture of Hebrew and German. She'd say, because she was from Russia, but they still spoke Yiddish, Gehen gesund. Gehen gesund means go in health. And if you think about it, if you don't have your health, well, especially during the pandemic, when it was really dangerous, and it's still dangerous out there. I've had my 3 booster and I'm getting number 4 next week because I'm in a high risk group, my age and other factors. But I'll always say in my videos, and I'll say now, Gehen gesund, and I'll also do this, goodbye. And I stole that from the Granny of the Beverly Hillbillies. If you have any questions, stick around. I'll stick around here for a couple of minutes. If not, by the way, Sophia, thank you. If you come to my office hours, watch the videos, do the practice problems, do the labs, and obviously do the tests in the final, and you'll get a good grade. My students do well. Historically, usually 85% of my class earn an A or a B, I don't give them away in my class because they do the practice problems and come to lecture, watch the videos. With that, I'll say good night. I'll be posting this video later today or tomorrow. If you have any questions, I'll stick around. Emily, I think I'll try and do that. Hold on, everybody's coming in real quick on this. Elena, and hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. If not, correct me. No, there won't be any live Zoom meetings other than I may do a review before each test. I see one person. I thought about it tonight, and that sounds like a good idea, but you should be watching my YouTube videos. Last semester, I had a class of about 12 or 13. I only had 1 or 2 students show up when I was doing it live, maybe 4, and the rest watched the videos. Last summer, most of them watched the videos. Only a few showed up because of work or other reasons. And you should be watching the videos. I won't have live lectures like tonight. But I thought I'd give you a chance, anybody else, if you have a question, to ask. And Sadia, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Thank you. Marion, thank you, and I hope I'm pronouncing yours. And Elena, all right. Like I said, come to my office hours if you need live help. And any other questions before I sign off? Well, it's just you and me, Elena. Do you have a question before you leave? We already asked one, but now, one thing you asked, do you watch them on your own time? Yep, that's why they're on YouTube. They're available, but notice I have week 1. These are the videos you should watch. And some of them are 2.5-hour videos. So don't try and binge watch them on a Thursday or Saturday. Try and spread it out throughout the week, and that will help you out. Okay? All right. With that, if there are no more questions, I'll say once again, gang gesund. Goodbye now.